but we'll see what happens. We'll let the fates determine. You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready, man. Let's go.
All right.
We need a theme song.
I think it's pretty good.
No. Words.
Welcome to. Does that count? I would say, welcome to the podcast. I would say, let's start over, but I don't do 2 takes. This is one and done.
One last.
And every single person who decides to jump in it from outside is apparently, it's so perfect. You said, we need words on the theme song. And this lady was like, I got you. I'll yell it from over here.
She was clutch. She was clutch.
She came through just when we needed her most. She doesn't even know it. How's everyone doing today? We're back again with another episode. I'm your host with the most, Rubismo the Gizmo, joined once again by the witty and always funny Gene. How we doing?
Also known as Psycho Gino.
Would you prefer that I intro you as Psycho Gino?
I like to mix it up.
I didn't want to become stale, so I was like, I'll switch it to Gene, Psycho Gino, depending on what the people want to hear that day. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? We can mix it up.
All right. I'm not going to mix this up. I'm going to start right off with a segment we've done before, the world famous New York Times corrections page, because if there's one thing we strive for at this podcast, it's to make money. But secondly, it's to reference dying newspapers as an effort to do that. And one of the things we have to do is make corrections when we've made a mistake.
You think it's dying?
Newspaper in general? Yeah,
Oh.
absolutely. The New York Times, they're holding on strongest. They're like George Foreman as a boxer, right? Like, even late into his 40s, right? Wasn't he still out there fighting Lennox Lewis and different people where he couldn't sit down in the corner?
When I think of Foreman, you know what I think of?
What?
The grill.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I use a Foreman grill. He's fantastic.
So do I.
I was just saying, as a boxer, he hung on longer.
Yeah, he did. He lasted a while.
Boxing is a dying sport too, I think. It had a nice period
I
in the
don't
early
know.
90s.
Oh, yeah.
Mayweather kind of held it together, but heavyweights are where it's at, right? Like
Dante?
Well, now Deontay Wilder's bringing it back a little bit, but even it's too late for him because he's, 32, 33?
He looks great.
So do I. But I'm just saying, our prime is behind us, right? Old man strength doesn't work in the ring.
It does.
Mike Tyson ends old man strength with that young, fresh tiger strength.
I wish I was able to see Mike in his prime.
Oh, you and me both. To sit ringside and be there when just the music hits, the aura hits, feel the impact of those punches and hear them live, just thud, thud, right on the meat. Incredible. It would have been something to see. In fact, you should see, I think it's incumbent upon everyone to see, great performers, great athletes, great actors, great everything, while they have a chance to, because those are things that you can tell your children about. These are the greatest events of our lifetime. If we lived during the Greco-Roman periods, to say you stood in the courtyards with Socrates and talked with him is something magnificent, because he's one of the great thinkers. And so I was watching Picasso paint or whichever, seeing Michael Jordan play at whatever they call the arena.
Watch Tom Brady throw a touchdown pass.
Even as much as I hate Tom Brady, being able to say you saw him is still something special.
It is.
And it would be even sweeter if he broke your heart in the process, right? If you had an emotional attachment to it in one way or the other. If it wasn't just like a 40-point win or a 40-point loss,
Right.
But like a last-second comeback rips your heart out, and it's a moment you'll never stop
People
forgetting.
hold on to pain easier, so yeah.
That's true. That is true. I got to see Peyton in person on that historic Monday night comeback.
Wait, did you ever see him in person? Like face to face?
What do you mean? Like he didn't look at me and point and say hi?
Were you ever this close to Peyton?
No, I've never been this close to Peyton Manning.
Because
sitting
his
across from the
face
table.
looks so weird. I want to know, how was it in person?
I don't know. It's probably just as magnificent as it is on the field.
Magnificent. It's
Large little red mark on the forehead. That's the stuff.
He has a funky looking face.
He has a longer face, sure, but
and his body is odd.
Well, it's an average every Joe body.
No,
it's an everyday man body.
It's a weird body.
It's the kind of body that apparently women love, right? Because that's what I'm hearing.
Women?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Women love money.
That's
status.
Are you saying dad bod isn't a thing?
Dad bod isn't what it used to be. David Beckham is dad bod now.
No, I'm talking Leonardo DiCaprio fat on a boat.
Oh yeah, that's gross. But he has the status. He's Leo.
Okay, so real dad bod is still not a thing. You've got to actually.
But those aren't regular dads. They have moolah.
So money makes the body.
Yes.
Well, then Peyton looks great. I'm going to start with the New York Times corrections. One simple correction that I want to make sure I get right. I probably didn't even need to put this in the notes, but I wanted to make sure I put it in. Last episode, or I forget which episode, we were talking about Undisputed, the movie, with
Right.
Wesley Snipes and Ving Rhames. And
Right.
I casually threw out that it was like 1999. It was actually 2002. And it's a really small thing.
Really?
But
3 years?
It was a 3-year difference. I'm just glad I was able to pull that general time period out. And I didn't want to lead the listeners wrong. So that's my quick correction.
Okay.
Who should have several corrections to make? Aaron.
Aaron.
I'm putting on the pen so I can look at you. What's going on? I mean, what's going on? Is there something happened relationally?
Be nice.
Is there something happened in your personal life?
Be nice to Aaron.
What's going on? I complained one time about a buzzing in the microphones.
Mhm, yeah.
And you did a great job fixing that, except the last episode now is too loud. I mean, I'm just hearing just like almost the crackle of the mic snapping, it seems like, at the top of our I guess vocal areas. Can we turn the mics down? Can the people listen to this without blowing their eardrums out?
He's not asking for too much, Aaron.
When I said I want this podcast to be the last thing people ever listen to, I didn't want it to be because we're deafening the audiences one member at a time. That was not the plan. Also, this is smaller. This is a much smaller thing, but I think, hold on. Here's the thing. And I just want to say for the record, because some people are gonna realize that, hold on, he was just chewing into Aaron, and he said, hold on, and they're wondering what he held to hold on for. As you know, we are a pre-profit podcast. I call that the triple P, and once we get to a post-profit podcast,
Say that 3 times fast.
please, we can afford to eliminate people around us. But until then, we have to work around what we're given. And speaking of working around what we're given, you're not off the hook, Aaron.
No.
I didn't stop thinking about it. I didn't stop considering it. I already told you the mics were incorrect, and I trust you're going to figure that out. The second thing I noticed, and this is a small thing, but it's the kind of thing that somebody who's anal about detail like me notices, what was going on with the font? The font in the video was slightly different this time. It was spaced out weird. Like it was just... I don't know what's going on. Did you change it? Did you mess it up?
Let's leave.
I'm just
Aaron
saying.
alone. Come on,
fix
let's
it.
focus. Let's focus.
I don't care if there's an update. Either change the font. The next one will probably come with blue letters. I mean, I don't know. There's no consistency. Is all I'm saying. I don't know.
Nonsense is nonsense.
Nonsense is maybe it should be. Maybe just make it blue. Just cause. Just throw everybody off. And then there was also Gene. There was also you who said you refuse to see a new barber for a lineup.
Yeah, because you are cheating on your barber. You are running a risk, as you found out. And when I moved to a new area, one of the most important things is finding a barber. And once I find that barber that I trust, that is who I see.
How do you find that barber? Are you going by Yelp reviews? Or are you going by word of mouth reviews? Or you just go to the blackest area?
So Yelp, if that's an option. Word of mouth, if that's an option. Or just look at internet and look at images and walk in there, and I get the vibe. Now, see, you had the alarm when you walked into Floyd, and you ignored the sound of the bells. You saw the flashing light, and you said, "Nah, I'm gonna go with this and see what happens." Me, I turn around. I said, "Nope." I keep going.
An absolute mistake. An absolute mistake by me.
Definitely.
And it's certainly something that I've learned from. Not saying I won't try new barbers, but man, you got to trust that gut.
But you have a barber.
Yeah, he was just further away. Again, sometimes distance is important. No. Absolutely.
No, it's not. When my barber has left, I followed my barber.
I'm not subscribing to that. Outside of actual relationships, distance makes the difference as to how loyal I am to. If I'm in, New York, my barber's in San Diego, I'm not just going to wait till I get back to San Diego if I need a fresh lineup. I'm going in, and I'm just going to hope that the person who's been licensed to do said
You mean
work.
like you're visiting New York?
Sure.
Then you get your haircut before leaving.
What if I'm there for like 2 weeks?
What do you mean?
I'm visiting for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
breaking bread. I'm
Like the day before you leave, the last thing you do is get a haircut.
Of course, but I'm saying there's times when you need a haircut, and I don't want distance to be the barometer, or rather, distance is the barometer between whether or not I'm
If
going.
you are there long enough, let's say you're going to be somewhere for 2-3 months. Back to what I said. You find a barber immediately.
There, you find what fits the service. I want to jump into something. This is going to be my rant for the day, probably, but I got to get it out. What the heck is going on with the NBA in China? This is something that I am personally annoyed with, and I'm annoyed at the NBA for immediately kowtowing to whatever our Chinese overlords say. As many of you know, Daryl Morey sent out a small tweet about standing with Hong Kong in the middle of their protest against China, and immediately China comes with a hard fist and big hammer to smash on America, talking about, we don't want your games, we're not selling a product, we're not going to be partnered with this and that. And of course, the cowards that they are, the NBA and Adam Silver and every owner and Steve Kerr, Popovich, James Harden, everybody wants to apologize to China. They want to just get on their hands and knees and kiss the feet of China.
Yeah.
And please take us back and please be part of this. And you've got so much money that
They
we don't
need
want
China.
to lose.
Yeah.
They want them. You know what? Screw China. That's what I say.
Whoa, they need China.
Don't need China.
Yes, they do.
What is the last great American Chinese athlete?
It's the fans. The fans in China.
I don't need
love
the fans that much.
The association.
If they lose basketball, what do they have?
What do you mean? What do
Badminton,
they have?
table tennis,
Sports.
They don't have the NBA.
It's the NBA needing them.
The
That's
NBA
more
doesn't
money.
need- I'm willing to sacrifice money to stand on principle. I don't have the freedom to criticize China. As a GM of a team, I can't criticize an entire country. Just for the record, what if I was a normal Chinese citizen and I criticized China? Well, all of a sudden I just disappear? I was just annoyed by this. I was annoyed how quickly everyone ran to the feet of China to say how sorry they were for China. For one, if they're listening, I'm not sorry. I don't care. You don't have any LeBrons coming out of China. That's a treat that you get to see Anthony Davis.
How quickly they did it.
Had
Had they waited a week or so, you would be okay with it, or no matter what, you would be disappointed with them doing that.
I would probably be disappointed no matter what, but distance and time provides perspective. And so if you had given yourself time to think about it, think about the pros, the cons, and maybe they just think so much faster than me, every single one of them. Though the fact that James Harden said, yeah, China, we're sorry, we appreciate you, we love China. There's no way James Harden thinks faster than me on anything. I've seen him play basketball. He ain't thinking that fast. So the fact that everyone came out to apologize immediately afterward is absolutely indicative of the fact that they're just following the money. That's all it is, and that's not a slight at Adam Silver if he's Jewish following the money. I don't want that to come off. This is not an anti-Semitic podcast. I'm saying if they are trying to follow the actual money to support the NBA, I think it's ridiculous. I think basketball is an international game. China is huge, yes, but there is clearly a difference in morality of America versus China and what we allow people to say and speak and how we want us to act versus what China allows. And I think the NBA might have struck a third wire or the third rail of their nation by with Daryl Morey speaking out in a tweet. He was like 8 words, and it completely shut down Chinese-American relations. Disgusts me.
It's a power move.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you said that you are more athletic than James Harden?
Yeah, I recall that.
Okay, carry on.
Yeah. Do you have anything negative? Have you seen James Harden?
To actually make a statement and to
Let me ask you this.
defend this at all. We all know you're not.
Do you think your body shape is more athletic than James Harden?
My body shape?
Yeah, your current physical build. If there were silhouettes of you and James Harden.
I don't know what his body looks like.
You see him in the jersey.
He looks fine.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that your body shape is more athletic looking than The Rock?
No.
How do you know what his body looks like?
I've seen him without shirts on.
There you go.
What do you mean?
That's what I'm saying. If you got the silhouette of James Harden, you don't even think he looks like The Rock. Nothing
No.
in your head makes you think James Harden looks athletic at all.
So I don't look at Kevin Durant. He doesn't look athletic either.
You have I have a better physical build than Kevin Durant, who, for the record, before he comes back healthy a year from now, I don't think he's going to be the same player. I don't think he's that guy. You heard it on record.
Are you saying you are more athletic than both James Harden and Kevin Durant?
I think I'm more athletic than James Harden and Kevin Durant. I think they're taller. I think they're more skilled basketball players, but I don't think they're more athletic than me.
What do you mean by athletic? I think
Ability to run, jump, flip, kick, athletic
they can
type things.
dunk.
They're tall. If I was 6'10", 7 feet tall like Durant, I would be
How
dunking.
tall is
as well.
James Harden?
6'5", right? Someone look it up. He's too tall to be that flabby. I know that much. You and I both know when you look at him, He looks nothing like
So
the kind of person.
you're saying he's pudgy, and that's what this is about.
Yeah, that's part of what this is about. He's absolutely pudgy. You know it. And I did not use the word pudgy at all. I said he's not athletic looking.
Well,
you took it to pudgy. So you know exactly what this is.
Darren Williams used to be, not Williams, what's point guard for the Nets? What's his name?
Yeah.
Is it Williams?
Yeah. A former point guard of the
He
Nets
used
a
to
while
be
back.
pudgy.
He did, but he was always better than Chris Paul, who also isn't athletic looking. I think Chris Paul's lazy. I think if he actually put some time in the gym and less time in the State Farm commercial booth, he could actually...
What kind of gym are you talking about?
I'm talking weight room. I'm talking clanging and banging. That's what I'm talking about. That man is not lifting weights. He's
a little feisty out there.
He's a little cheater out there. He's a dirty player, and he'll never win a ring. CP0. He'll never appear in an NBA Finals.
I agree.
Feels great to me.
Whoa, I don't agree with that.
Feels great to me. He's not a good player. I don't think he's a good guy. He gets a pass because he does commercials as Cliff Paul, and people just want to support him. I don't know. I don't think he's a good guy. I think the one thing he wants to do is ride LeBron's coattail to a Finals, and I'm hoping beyond all hope that he never makes it to an NBA Finals because I don't think he's good enough to have earned it.
Doesn't matter. LeBron's not going back to the Finals anyway.
They'll be there this year.
They will not.
This NBA season is coming upon us, and I just want to state for the record and on the record, one, I like the Lakers to win the championship.
I do not.
They have the best duo in the NBA.
They do not.
Without question. And two, I am stunned at what Vegas has done. They have made billions of dollars off of dummies. Okay,
you're stunned. That's what Vegas does day in, day out.
That's not the stunning part. That's their profession.
Yes,
that's what they do. And yet they have foolishly put my Dallas Mavericks over under at 41.5 wins. Pound the over. Luka and Kristaps are going to carry us to about 54 wins this year. As a Maverick fan, I'm leaning 57, but I'm trying to be kind. I went game by game on this schedule. I got the Mavericks winning about 53 to 54 games. I'm still tossed up on one of the Pelican games.
You're not worried about injuries?
Again, you can't factor injuries in when you're making predictions preseason.
I can.
You got to throw out what you got. Whether someone gets in a car accident or tears a quad,
or if someone has a history of being hurt.
There's no history on our team. Kristaps has one injury. It was an ACL. He was ready to go last year.
That's how it starts.
If I was a Knick player, I would have had injuries too. Mysterious injuries. And then I never would have been able to make it to the floor for the games. And that's just it. I just want to throw it out. If you guys want, just to buy a bigger house or maybe a summer house this year, go ahead and throw, a few dozens of thousands of dollars down on the Mavericks over. And come next May, I'll see you in Seattle in some beautiful condo that we've just purchased because that's easy money.
Okay.
Easy money.
Easy money. So you've already placed your bet?
You know what? As I said, this is a pre-profit podcast.
Yes.
And so at this moment,
right,
I have not.
You should.
But hypothetically speaking,
literally put your money where your mouth is.
Here's what's more important than my money.
What?
My confidence.
Uh-huh.
And it is at the top of the charts. If there is a confidence scale 0 to 10, this is a 10.
It's another reason to make the bet. Place the bet.
It really is.
What are you waiting on?
Well, I'm in the middle of recording. And I got to factor in a few other things.
When this is over, I will sit by and watch you.
I got to factor in a few things, but I'm very confident. What I got?
You said pound the over. Pound the over.
Take
it.
The over.
Take it.
Absolutely. You know what? I might.
What is this? Might.
You know what? I will. This is
Yes.
You heard it here on the podcast.
Yes.
Peer pressure works. And speaking of pounding the over and spending, I'm going to have so much extra money.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to be so flushed.
Wait. How much are you willing to put down?
Well, we'll see what my bank account has.
Okay.
As Kevin Hart says, I don't have the kind of account. Well, I got savings.
You're checking
I got
savings.
Okay. So, but if I had that kind of money, and I love basketball and basketball swag, then that means I love shoes. I love basketball shoes. I probably just love Nikes in general. Mm-hmm. And since I'm going to be flush with cash, I'm going to go buy what I have discovered are the most expensive Nikes perhaps ever. These shoes I just discovered are I'm trying to think of a word. Blasphemous is what they are right now. What do you want to know first about the shoe? The price?
What is the shoe? What's the
name? It is a
Nike shoe. Nike shoe.
This is the Jesus shoe.
Jesus as in
holy,
Jesus?
As in Christ himself. As
JC?
in the Messiah of
the
earth.
most popular man of all time?
Yes.
Huh.
Yes. He has his new Nike, and this shoe is selling.
He has as in Jesus.
There is a new Jesus, not Jew shoe. It's selling for $4,000. $4,000
What?
in some places.
Wait, can you show me
Now,
the
I
shoe?
want you to see this shoe and let me know, would you spend $4,000 on this Nike?
Is that a cross?
It comes with a cross pendant on the tongue that kind of hangs off.
Like a chain?
Yeah, like a little chain.
Like a necklace?
To some degree, yeah.
Oh my God, this is hideous.
Now, would it change your mind? Everyone listening, feel free to Google it. Jesus shoe off Nike. Would it change your mind to know they have inside the sole, they've injected water, holy water, from the River Jordan, so that you could literally
walk on water?
Would that change your mind on how much you're willing to spend on this shoe?
Four G's
Right.
for this shoe,
Yeah, it has
that
a-
I will be made fun of and have to explain why I have a chain hanging off the side of it.
Who's gonna make fun of you for that?
What?
Who's gonna make fun of you?
Anyone who sees these shoes will make fun of me. Oh my Lanta. 4 G's for that shoe.
4 G's.
Nah. Don't even. No.
I mean, they're white. They've got the little blue coloring on the inside. I mean,
I see that.
they got a little Bible verse written on it. 4,000. Nothing like marketing off of Jesus' name. People will buy anything they can.
Are you willing to purchase that shoe?
No, 0% chance I'm going to spend that when I could.
Really, 0? I'm more like negative.
First, I don't like to spend a lot on shoes in general because I run through them so quickly.
Right.
I wear dress shoes to work, and I wear workout shoes to work out in.
Right.
And I just wear just kind of casual shoes when I'm around the town. So, I mean, buying Nikes, they would probably be workout shoes or basketball shoes. My current basketball game does not demand a shoe costing more than $75, $80.
Okay.
It's not going to make a difference.
Right.
It would if I practiced more. Then I'd probably, if I was wearing LeBrons on the reg, then I'd probably notice a difference, a little more aggressiveness
I don't
in my
think
drives.
so. I don't think so.
All right, well, that's marketing for you. But right now, it doesn't make a difference. And yeah, again, casual shoes, I'm not dropping more than maybe 60, 70.
You know what? I'm lying. When you have on a certain pair of shoes that has a certain type of athlete
Attached to it?
yeah, associated with the shoe, you do step up your game a little bit. If they stand out, you're like, man, you're wearing these, and people are looking at your shoes. You're like, you know what? I got to make a couple plays.
100%. 100%. I put on the Allen Iversons back in the day. I used to rock with AI. I was faster. I jumped higher. I ran harder.
Could you dunk back then?
I could touch net. And that was like middle school.
You have no ups. That's
Again, because I don't walk around in calf trainers, and muscle weighs more than fat. So at this point, it's probably not going to happen. That's all that matters. Speaking of trainers, speaking of things weighing more than fat, speaking of me getting old and aged, I know another person who got old and aged while at the same time not getting old and aged. Will Smith.
Big Will.
Big Will. The box office man
box
himself.
office man, just like Gary Oldman.
No, he is not.
Just like Gary Oldman.
You've been excited.
A-lister.
No.
Is what I said. A-lister.
No. Not an A-lister. No one has ever tuned in to watch Gary Oldman perform anything.
That's not true.
He's just in the middle of movies.
That's not true.
You wanted me to watch Fifth Element, and
Yeah,
I took the time.
Classic, top 5 all time. You said for me or for Chris Tucker. I said for both, but definitely for Chris Tucker for sure.
Well, I'm going to start and say I hate his character in Fifth Element. I hate his persona. I hate everything. It's a young Chris Tucker that doesn't have the right to say no.
That was a great role for him.
Absolutely. It's not a top 5 Chris Tucker movie. It's behind Fridays and every Rush Hour so far.
That's only what, 4?
That's 4. I'm sure there's something else I'm missing. I'm just leaving the room.
Silver
open.
Linings Playbook.
I don't remember him in Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah, him, J-Law, and not Chris Pratt, but what's his name?
What was his role? I remember
Bradley Cooper.
I remember J-Law, Robert De Niro,
Yeah.
closer to an A-list than Gary Oldman, but
Both A-listers.
I don't remember Chris Tucker in this off the top of my head.
Chris Tucker's the black friend. He's also a little cuckoo. He's Bradley Cooper's
He's Bradley
friend.
Cooper's friend. You're
Yeah,
right. You're
and
absolutely
he was
right.
dancing with J-Law a little bit.
I recall.
Yeah. Anyways, top 5 for Chris Tucker. He nailed that role. Saying no that fast. No. I don't know how
You know-
he said it that fast. If this was a bomb, he killed. Come on, he was great at the role.
The movie. So I'm about halfway through it right now.
Halfway through, you didn't finish the movie.
I got about halfway through the movie.
I can't even drop quotes to you.
I've seen the movie before. This isn't.
You don't remember quotes. How'd you get halfway through?
Surprisingly, I started it around 10 o'clock last night, and then I fell asleep because I had a big dinner. So I woke up this morning saying, you know what? I'm going to watch this. I'm going to finish it because I want to provide a fair and honest assessment of the movie. And then when I got up and finally came here, I met up to go watch a Gemini Man. It was just a longer movie than I expected. I say I'm halfway. I might be more than halfway. I'm not certain.
What's the last thing you remember?
Let's see. They found the girl is the fifth element. And they were fighting
Lilu
together.
is her name.
Lilu. Yeah.
Lilu.
Talking that weird.
She made up the language for the movie. That is awesome.
She might have made up the role entirely. I'm thinking she's sleeping with the director because she's doing nothing special on the screen. There's no way that they were like, here's what we need. We need Lilu to star in this movie.
What do you mean?
What is she bringing to the table?
She is the ultimate being, the perfect being.
Could have been played by anybody.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, she's not doing anything special. The language is whack.
I don't know.
You got to make up. You got to make up a good language. She just sounds kind of Chinese, and I thought it was a little offensive early on.
You know, you can't talk to me until you finish the movie.
You're telling me when you first heard her talk, you didn't think it was some kind of Asian language.
When I first heard her, this movie came out in '97. I can't tell you.
You got a good memory on this.
Which I can't tell you because 97 is a great number. I usually yell the number 97, but I don't feel like doing that this movie. There is a backstory. I'll get around to it one of these days.
Okay.
But the number 97, if it comes up in the future,
97.
I'm gonna say 97. But anyways, that movie I believe is 1997. So when I first heard it, I said, "What is she saying?" As an adult watching it, I said, "Man, she created that language. She sounds adorable. She sounds innocent. It's cute. It's awesome."
It sounds racist. She comes out there talking about. At
At no point did she come off
that. What the heck is going on? It was going throughout the whole movie with this nonsense. Please help.
That's a sad
Why
scene.
did-
Bruce is like, "Oh,
I
I
can't.
can't. I'm not,
It's a sad scene.
Please help."
Why did her L's sound like R's?
Because she's never spoken the English language before.
Because she went straight to an Asian dialect. That's all she's doing. I hope that later in the movie she's not saying parallelogram, or we're gonna be in trouble. This is ridiculous.
We're not talking about this until you finish.
I will finish the movie tonight, and we might have to finish. This is gonna be the running thread for this whole show.
You said what? Wait. What's the last thing you saw?
They were getting onto a particular ship. Like he'd wanted the invitation to a party.
Lost in Paradise.
Yeah.
Wait, so how did you already see Chris Tucker's
Chris
character?
Tucker's there. That's where you see him in the hallway. That's when he starts. Then he ends up going down on some girl later on, like a few scenes later. Spoiler alert. People who weren't ready for that. Spoiler alert. But you don't get to see it. Don't worry. It's not that kind of movie. It's still the 90s. Although when she comes out in the tube and she's chest free.
Talking about Lilu?
Lilu.
In the beginning?
In the very beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know why they caught me off guard.
That she was naked?
Yeah. I didn't think they showed all that for some reason in movies back then. But I guess this was, turn of millennium. I don't know. I was like, they let this get on TV. You know how things have gotten more raunchy?
We have bigger chests than she does.
I would disagree. But things have gotten more raunchy as time has gone on in general in like television and media. And so when I think about where we are now versus where we were then, like it must have been so demure back then. I'm like, oh no, they were still showing stuff back then. It's incredible. I think that in the end, when I finish The Fifth Element, it's going to be a great day. But I'm going into another movie.
Well, wait. We're not quite finished with Fifth Element. So the last thing you saw was they're on the ship, and what's going on?
He had just gotten onto the ship.
If you
Bruce
don't know,
Willis, okay. Bruce Willis had just
Corbin Dallas.
Corbin Dallas, that's right. I remember them
That's
at the window.
Great name.
Everyone kept trying to come to the window to be Corbin Dallas, and none of them was. Which is
I
a
am
fun
Corbin.
Yeah. They did two. I'm not sure what they're called, Glorbs or whatever. The gangsters. They end up shooting up the place a little bit and diving into garbage. Corbin gets on. As I said, Chris Tucker. I want to say Chris Tucker interviews him behind the scenes in the hallway.
No, he's on a radio show.
the radio show. He has his entourage of guys behind him that are ridiculous. I thought Wayne Brady for a second was one of the entourage guys.
The Wayne Brady?
I thought Wayne Brady was an entourage guy. And I had to really focus to see, and it's not. It's just a bald, small black guy.
No Wayne Brady is playing a yes man to
Chris Tucker.
To Chris Tucker's character that he nailed. By the way,
he was okay with.
You haven't finished the episode
so far. Not memorable. The most memorable thing about him is the outfit and the hair. That's it. So far, those are the most memorable things.
So you can't quote anything he said so far, even if it's something small.
I think he asked one of the guys, like, how did I do? Or something like that. Oh, no, then he was with the woman. He was like, I never felt this way about another woman. I promise, or something like that. I'm not sure what that was.
Okay,
but,
okay.
Here's a movie that when we finish Fifth Element, we'll finish Fifth Element.
Okay.
Here's a movie that I did finish, beginning to end, that we saw today.
Yes.
Because it's our duty to go out and take a gander and listen to these things and provide a review for the people.
Last week, Joker. This week,
Gemini Man.
Yes.
Do you want to start or should I?
I started last week. You can start.
Okay. First of all, we already know Will Smith, A-list actor.
Yes.
Everyone's going in to see Big Willie because that's what you want to see.
I saw some empty seats in there.
There were, but I think it was a theater choice. I'm sure that this movie is going to be the number one this week.
I think it's going to flop.
Behind Joker?
Yeah. Well, no. It will be behind Joker.
But it will also be
I think it's going to flop. Not Dark Phoenix type bad, but I think it'll be pretty bad.
I don't think. I think this will be really well. I'm excited for it. Mostly because Le'Veon Bell was excited for it. And everyone knows I follow Le'Veon Bell. So
why do I care if Le'Veon is excited about this movie?
He's kind of the face of the culture.
Huh?
It's a story for another day. So Le'Veon and I were excited to see this movie. Gene and I went out and watched the movie. And I actually love this movie more than I expected. I thought it would be a typical Will Smith thriller.
Meaning?
Like an iRobot style. There's kind of a general thread to it. There's a build-up. There's a crescendo. There's a quick end. In a sense, there was that in the movie. And
there was.
The problem to some degree is I'm trying not to spoil parts of the movie, which makes it hard to do a review without spoiling a movie.
Right.
But there was enough twist and turn in the movie that it kept me attentive. So let's say that.
Okay. Okay.
I like the action. I like I said, I like the cerebralness of it. I like the ethical dilemma that was presented to us at the end from Clive Owen. Welcome back, Clive. I haven't seen him since Sin City. Really, I'm gonna need a bigger trunk. Remember that line?
That's your favorite movie with him?
I'm gonna need a bigger trunk.
You know what my favorite movie with him is?
It was just memorable. Oh, favorite.
So it's not your favorite?
I'd have to search his catalog. I'm not certain. I know Clive's.
Well, I know what I love about him.
What do you like?
It's called. I almost said the wrong movie. It's oh man, I'm having a blank. It's the one with no Children of Men. Children of Men is my favorite movie with him.
I can't say I've seen that.
Now I need to like make sure that.
Well, while you're making sure,
yeah.
Again, this was incredible, and one of the things you're going to see, you know what? To some degree, it's spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, you haven't seen it. If you don't want to hear about specifics, you might have to be careful about listening to the podcast. I'll do the best I can, but
don't do spoilers. We've already said we hate spoilers.
I do hate spoilers, but does a trailer count as a spoiler to some degree? Like if they've seen it in the trailer, Children of Men. No, I haven't seen it. If they, because I've watched the trailers in general. In fact, let me do a quick detour. When I go to a movie, I love previews.
Yeah, me too.
I absolutely love watching previews. However, as I've gotten older, I've kind of concreted myself into a particular arena of movies that I know I'm going to like. There are certain action films I know I'm going to like. There's certain sci-fi films that I know I'm going to like.
Fifth Element.
Okay. And if there's going to be a preview for that movie, they're trying to win a particular audience member that's not me. Because I'm already going to go see it.
You're sold, yeah.
So if they show a trailer for that, it's a spoiler to me. Because I don't want to see anything.
I 100% agree.
So we sit down and the first trailer is for Star Wars.
Yeah.
the greatest movie ever.
I think that,
and
what?
I had to, the greatest movie ever, number one all time.
Oh, we will
have
get back to that.
And I have to not watch the trailer,
Yeah.
for fear that and I so desperately want to see the trailer, but I got to stare down at my Rubio's burrito that I snuck in, just so I don't have it ruined for me. Same thing happened with Terminator as it was going on. I can't watch.
And
I'm gonna watch it.
You know what? All right. So I usually close my eyes, plug my ears, and hum a little bit.
Right.
But I've accepted that trailers sometimes don't actually put everything you see in the trailer into the movie.
What do you mean?
And they don't always put everything in the trailer into the movie.
Okay, I'm with you. Sorry, yeah.
There's just cuts that
there's
don't make
different
it,
scenes,
but
yes.
they use it for the trailers. So I'm watching the Star Wars. They didn't ruin too much. I said okay, they did a good job with that.
Right.
And then the trailer comes for what's the other movie we was talking about? Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
And I was okay. It's the Terminator movie. I've already seen the trailer. They can't ruin anything new. It was a different trailer.
Oh,
Today was a different trailer
than before.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's multiple trailers.
It was different. I said, "Oh no, they ruined more of the movie." And
Yeah.
I will retain this information.
Yeah, that's the worst part. People like my father could watch 10 trailers in a row before going to the movie and be like, "I never saw any of that."
Never saw it.
I'm like, we just watched all the
We
trailers.
saw this. We know what's going to happen.
Now it'll be imprinted on my brain. I'm just waiting on that moment.
Yep.
The entire movie.
Like and
So I
Gemini
feel-
Man when they were looking at each other in the mirror
Yeah.
and then he tossed the bomb down there.
Yeah.
I was like, I know he's gonna shoot it back. I know what's going to happen.
That's exactly it. And so I generally have a rule that when a movie's coming out, I will watch the first trailer and then never watch anything about it again.
Right.
The first one just because I want to get my tongue wetted, my beak wet for it. But after that, I won't watch anything again. Here's something I noticed about the trailers for this particular movie, and I'm pretty sure you can select the trailers you want.
Oh no!
It's a whole lot of black-white drama happening. What are they trying to do in Hollywood? Start a race war?
I did see it was the Harriet Tubman.
Yep.
The one with
the cop killers.
What is that called?
I forget. There's the Brooklyn, the missing witness, motherless Brooklyn coming.
I think I want to see that one.
Oh, I want to see that. There's 2 cop killing ones. That one and the one from Get Out. My man from Get Out was.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I was talking about Thelma and Louise. He's like, the black Thelma and Louise.
Yeah, there's that one.
Yeah,
and then there's also the one where the female cop.
Oh yeah, she witnessed a dirty cop. Yeah,
and now it's black people. These aren't your people. You're blue now. I'm like, what are they trying to sow? What kind of discord is Hollywood trying to force on the movie? And why you got to put that in front of Will Smith's Gemini Man?
I was honestly thinking, I didn't see any of these trailers last week at Joker.
None.
Why am I seeing them now with Will Smith? Do they think that only these people here will watch these other movies?
That's
Maybe
what's happening.
Right? I don't know.
Is that what?
I did notice that. I did notice it.
Maybe they think Joaquin Phoenix is in box office. Maybe that's it.
I don't think he is.
I
don't think he's that great of a.
They knew people
you know
would
what?
come
He
into
is
this.
a good actor.
He's a great actor.
I just don't like.
Joaquin
He makes
Phoenix.
things gross.
He takes it to an extreme.
Yeah.
And I'm still not certain what is up with his body.
It's gross.
What's up with in particular his shoulder blades? What is it? Has he had an accident? We're at least a week past Joker now. Has he had an accident that his shoulder blades like poke out weird?
It's because I don't know.
I have no idea what's going on with him. But
Gemini Man. Would you?
Yeah.
Back to Gemini Man before I get my 2 cents.
So there's a CGI thing happening in this movie.
Big time.
Wonderful. They did so good with this. I cannot say enough about it. I wish I was Will Smith so that I could experience emotionally and psychologically what he was experiencing watching himself against himself when he watches this movie. Like, I can't believe that's the young me. And this is absolutely incredible the way they did it. The action scenes were great. The fight scenes are fantastic, I thought. Even the girl in the movie who wasn't, James Bond girl kind of thing. Her name's, like not Pussy to Come or anything like that. This is just a regular girl. I don't know what her name, Samantha, Daphne, something like that. And not anything to write home about, but it was appreciated. I appreciated her role in this movie. She wasn't annoying. They didn't make her the Miss Do-Gooder like they have to do with every female character. She was just a very nice addition to the movie. I liked his friend too, Roland, or the Asian guy. He was a cool addition. Like, it stayed so focused on Will as you want it to be, without all the frills and thrills going on around him. Just all in all, great movie. Absolutely fantastic movie. Would I go see it again? It is a rare movie that I'm going to double dip on in theaters. This is not one of them, but I'm glad to have seen it. It is 100% worth seeing. I think it's worth seeing in theaters. I think it's just that good. I'll tell you one of my favorite parts. And
Spoiler alert.
Oh man, is it a spoiler alert? I was gonna go with the crowd reaction on the part. There was just a part where these a black couple who had come in late. Let me stop.
Oh, them?
Yeah, hold on a second. There was one guy as the movie was just about to start. The lights go dim. We're sitting in about the third row. It's hard to explain, but it's like a third row, and only reason is because some people behind us got tickets before we did as we were buying them.
I liked where we sat. It was good.
It worked all right for the size of the screen because it was a smaller screen compared to the last one.
Yeah.
And so I'm fine with it. Chairs, everything's fine. But a guy walks in after the lights go dim. Some man goes to the front row and just to the left of us sits down with a big old bag on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And immediately I say to myself, this guy's going to shoot up the theater. Now I got to be on my P's. Where's the exit? Can I get, is my lady in the way? Can I kick her out the way enough to get her down and crawling behind the seats to avoid? Like, I'm going through all the scenarios in my head. I'm thinking to myself, I wonder is Gene prepared for this? And I look over to see Gene, who is just hawk-eyed on this guy and staring him down as the guy's taking his bag off and reaching in for who knows what. It was just,
you were staring at me as I stared at him?
Yeah, I was staring at him. I processed it. I looked over to see, is he thinking the same thing I'm thinking? Are we going to have to make a move here? I got two guys in a wheelchair behind us in the handicap room. I'm like, oh, they goners. I can't help you, bro.
I can't.
It was one way in, one way out. Don't come into the movie with your big bag on after the lights go dark. If the lights go dark, you got to come in naked. I got to be able to see everything you got on. That's the rule. You can't come in with all this cover up and stuff. No. You're done. And then on top of that, there was one group of, I want to say like Indian friends that came in. Like teenagers
next to me,
next to you.
I don't want to talk about them. Talk about the black folks to your left. They please, because I couldn't stare. I mean, I did. I wanted to, but what
they were fantastic.
What did they have in
they
that?
Had some
in
chatter.
the bag?
They pulled out Panda Express.
Oh,
they pulled out Panda Express and decided we gonna eat this panda in the movie theater. And because I'm eating Rubio's, I didn't want to say anything. But mine is handheld. Like I can get up and move. I've got mobility with a burrito. You got a whole tray out. You got a fork. You got dipping sauces on the side.
They had Panda Express.
They had Panda Express. And at one point in the movie where they yell out, "Oh, there go Bebe," or something like that. They yelled that out in the middle of the movie at one scene. "Oh, there go Bebe." The black couple. And I wanted to bust out laughing so hard. It was the greatest addition to the movie. They should go to every showing and yell that out at every single one. Gemini Man for me, it gets an A. It delivered everything that I wanted from it. I didn't think it would be the greatest movie of all time, but it's a good movie and I like it a lot. I give it an A. If it's a scale of 1 to 10, it's an 8. I think it's an 8, which is about the max it could have ever been. Oh.
And what was Joker?
Joker's a 9. It's a growing 9. It's a flower at this point.
And A plus?
It's an A as well, a higher A. Like if Gemini Man's a 93, Joker's like a 96. Both A's, not the A plus yet. The best thing about Joker is that when I left the theater, the more I thought about it as the days and week went on, the more I liked it. I just kept liking more and more scenes and more things about it I really enjoyed. Mm-hmm. Whereas a movie like Us, the sequel to Get Out, the more I thought about it as I left the theater, the worse it got. Like, this don't make sense. And that don't make sense.
No,
and
yeah,
this is
it didn't
ridiculous.
make sense at all.
Man, by the time I got home, that movie went from an A to an F. Man, what the heck is Jordan Peele doing just cashing out my money? He ain't getting no more from me.
No.
So,
okay, so I guess I would say as far as grading goes, I would give it a B minus. I want to say a solid C plus, but B minus because I was entertained. I wasn't bored. It wasn't too long, and yeah. And as far as 1 to 10, whatever that is, but I would say a 6.
Wow. What was Joker?
I would not go watch it again. Joker was a I would say a B plus.
Okay. So you're harder on movies as a grader than me, probably.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're demanding.
Definitely, I am much harder on movies. So I'm watching Gemini Man, and I knew things would be predictable. You kind of know what's going to happen for Big Will, but it's Will Smith, so you're okay with it. He is looking kind of old. I know he was supposed to look old for the role, but it fit him kind of too well.
I think that he's aged gracefully. I don't know how old he is. I don't know if he's 50.
I think that applies to J-Lo.
J-Lo's a woman. I think the gracefulness of their aging is on a different scale than men.
Usually women age worse than men.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of really nice looking old women. And so I don't know if that's fair. Like, because a guy is just kind of let it go. You're like, you're old, you're old. because
women
they're
get
not
things
judged on
done.
their women
Yeah.
stay younger longer to some degree. I think he looked good for his age, but again, compared to the young version of him, I was like, man,
The CGI, I thought it was good overall.
not great. It wasn't great overall.
No.
Wow.
I didn't, not really. I didn't, there were times where I could tell, Will was using a stunt double and they used the same CGI, but I liked the hand-to-hand combat. That was pretty cool. The way they the way certain characters, how long they would be in a movie or whatnot, what would happen to them, I thought was pretty sudden, and I didn't really like it very much. His shooting was pretty much like how it was in what's the movie he played when he was the accurate shooter, and what are they called, the him and Harley Quinn, and
he was a Deadshot or Blood from Suicide Squad.
From Suicide Squad.
Deadshot?
Did the man miss it all? Other than shooting at himself, he was very accurate with his weapon.
Well, I mean, spoiler alerts. The first scene, he wasn't. I mean, even he said it. But, I mean, I guess it's a matter of inches here or there, but whichever.
The man was really accurate with the weapon. He was a surgeon.
Right. Well, he was the best. You are obviously not the best.
That was funny. I would say that. I would say to you, if you want to watch it in theaters to support Will, do so.
To support Will? What about supporting Jada? That's her man.
Okay. If you want to support the Will Smith and Jada Pickett family, sure, go ahead. If not, I would wait to watch the movie however you see fit, some other type of way. I would not pay to see that. Paying to see Joker was worth it. I don't think it was worth it for Gemini Man.
Man, a hard grader. I think movies are better enjoyed in theaters. This is certainly one. I
don't know, because we just mentioned that to you, the black folks over there were amazing. To me, the plastic bag was loud. Watching the guy come in with the backpack was
nerve-wracking.
I was like, oh, I gotta watch my P's and Q's now. The guy behind us with the loud cough. It was. I don't know. Sometimes if you can watch a movie for free at your home and it's comfortable
right.
and it's relaxing and it's quiet. Mm-hmm. And take that route if you can.
Certainly, there's a joy to watching movies at home. There's also a joy to going out and experiencing it amongst the people, and this is one of those movies, I think. Especially if you can go to a black theater.
But it wasn't even packed like that.
That's my point. Imagine if it was packed. How much better would it have been? All the sudden crinkles and anxieties of actually being there in person. And
let me ask you this: were you ever on the edge of your seat at any scene? Don't ruin the scene, but were you ever at the edge of your seat?
I was not at the edge of my seat.
Thank you. And that is all I have. That's how you know, folks.
Well, no. That can't be the only barometer. Because
it's a major barometer.
I wasn't on the edge of my seat for Joker.
You weren't.
Because I think to some degree the main character in sudden movies, there's a certain safety that they have typically.
So let me ask you this without spoiling anything. In the scene,
there's a scene in a foreign country that takes place in a battle between a couple of people that was tremendous. There was a long scene, and this was a fantastic.
It was a great scene.
That's my point, and I don't think that just because there's a lack of finality to it, it takes away from the fun of that scene.
I do. And see, when you're watching Joker and I don't even have to get into it, because there are scenes that had you on the edge of your seat or a little uncomfortable, or you said, absolutely, man, that just happened.
But
that's a movie for
we're
you.
A week past, and
I am trying not to ruin anything.
If you're watching, let's say you're watching Batman.
Which one?
Any Batman. Just
any Batman?
A Batman, a Superman.
Heath Ledger Batman movie. Okay.
A Fantastic Four. Doesn't matter. Any superhero movie.
Oh, any superhero.
I'm watching...
Kick-Ass counts?
Sure. Kick-Ass, Mystery Men, whatever you want.
Mystery Man.
Yeah. There are certain characters that are safe. There are certain characters that are safe. Mm-hmm. Until Game of Thrones came onto the scene, there was a certain style of film that existed and had never been toyed with, where there were characters that were, oh yeah, this is the good guy, this is the bad guy, This is the sidekick, so and so. These people are the foundations of the show, and they will be there forever. And then Game of Thrones came along and was like, nah, we kind of do what we want to do, and that's what made it so great. That's what gave it the greatest scene in television history.
I don't know about this. What about Heroes?
From NBC? This trash show, Heroes.
You think Heroes was trash?
Let me tell you why Heroes was absolute garbage.
Season 1. Only season 1.
Listen to that. He's already backing out of
Yeah, because you can't, if you're going to say, like, some shows, they go on too long, and that happens.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about season 1, no.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You are talking about season 1?
I'm talking about season 1
all right, well, then
and
let's go.
2 and 3 and 4. I'm talking about all of them.
Let's go.
And I'll tell you exactly why, because
Let's go.
Here's the thing with Heroes.
Yeah.
The first time I heard a commercial for Heroes, I think it was on the radio. I think that's where I first heard a commercial. And it was a very simple commercial. The guy comes on, he's like, what would you do if you woke up today and you had superpowers?
Ooh.
Think about it.
That's good.
And it just goes silent for a minute.
That's good.
And it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like Heroes, NBC, coming this far, whatever. And I was like, what would I do if I woke up and I could just fly all of a sudden out of nowhere? Like,
freak out.
At the time, I was like, do I still go to school? My math test is still due, but I can fly. Like, can I get out of this?
Yes, you still go.
It's weird because you still have normal stuff to do.
Right.
And so I was excited for the show. I watched the show. It started strong.
Yeah, season 1 was
started real
episode
good.
1 was good. Yeah.
Yeah,
2,
it was
3,
fantastic.
4, all season 1.
It was compelling. And then they ran out of ideas. And then
Whoa. When did you feel that way?
Probably near the end of season 1, beginning of season 2. Is it too late to spoil alert for Heroes? For people?
Hell no.
Is it at the end of season 1 where Hiro teleports to the middle of New York at one point, and then he teleports like back in time?
Yeah.
And that's how the season 2 starts or something like that.
Yeah. But I'm only talking about season 1.
You can't love a show off of one season.
You said it was trash. Season 1 was not trash.
Here's why it became trash. All trash starts as something good, then you crumple it up and it becomes trash.
Yeah, okay. Season 1 wasn't trash, though.
Season 1 was a great product, and then it became trash.
Done.
Because it became too complex.
I am done.
Watching this show, because you quit at 1. I went on.
I didn't quit.
I went on.
I just knew I was watching something that should have stopped at 1 season.
Exactly. This is what my point. It went on too long. You either die a hero or you live to see yourself become the villain. This show went too far. It became another homework assignment for me to sit down and watch this show. I was like, I gotta watch this damn Heroes again.
Kind of like Walking Dead.
Exactly like Walking Dead, which is why I haven't watched it for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Slightly different. Heroes got too complex. Like, it was just too many moving parts that they were trying to intertwine at once.
Yeah.
Like, the story writers got all caught up in themselves.
But my original point was...
It started strong, and
they
then went to trash.
And they would get rid of characters.
They would get... there are certain characters that remained, but they did.
Who?
To a lesser degree.
What?
Well, the evil guy. He remained.
Sylar, of course he remained.
The flyer, the brother, the politician, he lasted through the whole thing. Both brothers, in fact. Hayden Panettiere, she was safe the whole time. Hero, he was fine the whole time.
No, Hayden's gone.
Well, no. She lasted through the first season.
Oh, season 1?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In season 1, the painter's gone. The guy who can like blow up is gone.
Yeah, because he's self-destructed.
No.
Yeah.
No.
In the middle of New York.
No.
Maybe I'm misremembering.
You
what
are
happened.
I remember him turning
what's happening. I remember him turning bright orange.
This
and going
is what
nuclear.
happened. Nope, you are misremembering.
Explain this.
This is what happened. So you had the guy who had an attitude problem, and he would blow up or whatever.
Right.
So he knew that Sylar was coming after him.
Right.
And Nathan Peterman, aka Milo, went to save him from Sylar. But eventually, Sylar catches him.
Right.
The truck is flipped over. He's in handcuffs, and he does his thingy thing. He takes the power from him.
Right.
So
which is
he murdered him.
Yeah. Right across. I don't know how that works.
You rip
Does he eat the brain?
Yeah.
Like I didn't.
Kind of a way eats it, and then he finds a way to. Point is,
right.
He killed him, but Nathan had the power. He also absorbed the power, and so Sylar's plan was to trigger him to make him blow up until his brother flew down and talked him out of it and calmed him down. Remember? This is coming back.
Again,
the
first
point
episode
is,
was
the painter was dead, and the man there who blew up was also dead. And there's other people who died. Characters died.
There are characters who died, but by the time they start dying, nobody cares.
What do you mean?
The show went on too long. It was too complex. None of the main characters
they died in season 1.
I wasn't emotionally attached to the painter.
You weren't emotionally attached to Isaac as the painter as he's painting the future?
I was saying he paints the future, but I didn't care about the self-exploding guy. I didn't particularly care about Isaac. There
Maybe
was
not.
about 3 to 4 guys that were mainstays on the show, and they were untouchable. And again, there was no emotional attachment to them in the same way that certainly you had with Game of Thrones when they decided to do their thing. Nobody on Earth would compare the storyline of one season of Heroes to that of Game of Thrones.
No, but the point
that's
is
kind of
characters
wrong.
are being
Characters,
killed.
sure, characters die and people move away in, happy days. That ain't the same thing. All I'm saying is I think that, there are certain characters that are generally safe in films going into the film. And so in Space Jam, I'm very confident whenever it comes out, LeBron's character will never die throughout the duration
It's
of
a
the movie.
kids' film, of course not.
Whatever. Even if it wasn't, I'd be pretty confident he's going to be safe the whole time. Just because he's, train wreck. Nothing was going to happen to.
Why would something happen to him?
I don't know. I'm just saying. There's certain characters that are that safe. They're not getting impacted.
And this has to do with the Joker putting you on edge and Gemini Man not putting you on edge because
Joker didn't really put me on edge. Because the beginning, I think to be put on edge, there has to be a finality to it, and that doesn't exist. For me to get put on edge, there needs to be a finality at stake, and that's never the case in Joker. It's never really the case in Gemini Man. But I can be on the edge because of the action, like at a motor truck event. That's it. That we're already almost at an hour. I don't know how this happened. Once again, we've gone on long. There's so many other things I was going to get to. I don't want to push it too far.
No.
We got other stuff to do, other movies to watch. Is there anything else that you are dying to talk about, that you're dying to let the people know about?
Nah, not right now. There's more time. We have some stories we will circle back to for sure. I mean, for sure.
All right. I'm anxious about this 97 too.
Oh.
We'll see what that's about.
Okay.
All right, signing out. It's your boy Rubismo.
Psycho Gino.